He does that, He does that, Bailey Fritsch. He makes goal kicking look very, very easy. One of the most accurate, sharp shooting forwards in the game. And for the D's, that was pretty handy on Saturday night. 3 snags for Bailey in their 17-point win over the Bombers. A good win it was to have. And then Bailey joins us on the line this morning. Good morning, Bailey.
Good morning, mate. Thanks for having me on.
Good on you. Do you feel like you make it look easy sometimes when you kick for goal?
Oh, well, I put a lot of work in during the week. I've had years where I remember back in 2020, I kicked a lot of points. So I've definitely put a lot of time into it because I know a lot of hard work goes into getting the ball up to me in the forward line, and I want to finish off the work and get the 6 points instead of the 1.
The team's very appreciative of your efforts for the 6 points instead of the 1, Bailey. I'm sure they're very pleased about that. And the forward line at the moment for the D's is interesting. Jacob Malcolm's come back in, and his experience and his leadership, I imagine, makes a big difference. How big an inclusion is he into that area for the D's?
Yeah, he's been massive all year, not only just since he's come back in the last 2 weeks, but he sat on the bench the whole season and pretty much acted like a 19th player on the bench. He sees the game really well, and now that he's come out, obviously, and played the last couple of weeks and performed to a really high level, he's just added another string to our bow, and I'm sure he's going to keep building on that going into the last sort of 5 or 6 games, so it's really exciting.
Is he one of those guys that is he the energy bubble, or is he more that mature head out there?
He's a bit of both, to be honest. When one of us kick a goal or he's doing something well, he'll be the first to get around us. But his communication and leadership, obviously been in the game for 12, 13 years now. You can't buy that and that experience. And, it's good to have him back out there playing good footy. What
about that young bull you've got, Titsana forward, that sometimes sits in the ruck, Jacob Van Rooyen? How have you seen his development this year?
Yeah, his development's been massive. Obviously, we'd love to have him in the forward line deep all the time because he's contested marking and he's a tough bugger. But at the moment, he's in the ruck with Petty. White Max is out, hopefully not for too much longer. But whenever he's around the ball, he's a big brute and he's hard to move and he gets the ball going forward. And if he's forward of the ball, he's marking it and kicking goals. So it's great to play alongside him. And he's obviously still only a very young player, so he's going to keep developing. And, in 3-4 years, I'll hate to see where he is. I reckon he'll be one of the big forwards in the game. Yeah,
he's certainly got the potential to be quite something, I reckon, that young fella. Going nicely. What about you? How are you feeling about your year so far? In 17 games last year, you kicked 38-25. In 17 games this year, you've kicked 35-19. Goals aren't everything, we know that. But how do you assess your form so far this year?
Yeah, it's been a little bit patchy, to be honest, much like the team. But I think over the past month, I've started to put some games together, which is nice, and hopefully I can keep building over the next few weeks. But I think as a forward group, we've really grown in the last month and we've come together and really landing on each other and worked for each other more than we ever have probably in the last couple of years. So it's really exciting, obviously a young group, but I think we've taken some massive strides going forward in the past month in particular.
What about the game on Saturday night against the Bombers? I think there's the average tipster in the paper on Friday, I think it was, had the Bombers as favourites, but 65-35, I think it might have been sort of percentage. What was the plan going into that game? It was a huge game for you guys, which puts you in a really good position now to launch into the back 6 weeks of the year. What was the plan to try and stop the Bombers?
Yeah, we're under no illusions that obviously the Bombers were in some great form and we were missing some personnel, but we wanted to just really back in our system. We know we're a contest defence team and we knew that if we got that right, it was going to put us in the game for a long way. And I think especially with the conditions, we adapted really well. I thought we might have adapted a little bit quicker than what they did. And that really gave us the upper hand. But, you got young guys stepping up in their first year, Colton Tholstrup, Caleb Windsor, guys that are playing out of their skin, with only 10, 12 games under their belt. So it's guys like that. And then you got Trent Rivers going through the middle, who's moved in there over the past 4 or 5 weeks. And the stuff that he's doing is unbelievable and only going to take us forward.
Did you think he had that in him, Trent Rivers, by the way? I mean, you're right. I mean, his midfield play has been phenomenal. He was outstanding again on Saturday night. But did you think that he had that in him?
Yeah, he's done bits and pieces throughout a couple of the last pre-seasons and, just little bursts for 10 minutes here and there in pre-season games and maybe one of the big boys is out injured or having a rest day or whatever. But, yeah, I knew he had it in him, and now for him to be producing not just once but week in, week out over the past 4 weeks, he's been a massive lever for us that we've pulled, and really excited for him.
Big Jake Lever.
Yeah, Jakey's back and playing well, so that's all. When Jake and Steve down back, they've been good for 4 or 5 years together now, and when they're together, then add Tom McDonald in there, who's playing some really good footy. It's a good defence.
It is a bit of a. I mean, Stephen and Jake aren't rebuild players, but McVee's floating around through that area of the ground, and he was magnificent again on Saturday night. We've talked about some of the young guys forward. Some of your mids are still learning the craft a little bit. Do you see this team building on the run and having the capacity to get to a finals campaign and have an impact?
Yeah, we're really excited about where we're going. Obviously, when we have had some really poor games this year. I look back to Fremantle 6 weeks ago, and it's probably the worst we've played in 3 or 4 years. But to be able to turn it around off the back of a pretty young team, but we're not making any excuses that we're young. I think it's really exciting, and if we can keep building, there's no reason why we can't do something. But obviously, we're a bit cliche, but we'll take it week by week. And we've got a big game this week against Fremantle on Sunday. And we're really looking forward to getting up there.
You mentioned that Fremantle game. I was going to bring that up. 6 weeks ago it was. Since the bye, which was 4 weeks ago, you've won 3, you've lost 1. It was only to Brisbane by 5 points in a really good effort up in Brisbane. What's changed since that Fremantle game? How did you assess that? How did you review that and change things from that point in time?
Yeah, I think we just have to look at each other in the eye. I remember in Alice Springs after the game and had some really honest chats, as you do when you have a game like that. And I think each line really galvanised together, and then as a group all up, I think we've come a long way in a really short period of time, which is really exciting, and hopefully we can keep forging forward and keep building on the form that we've got right now.
Well, if we saw the hunt and the pressure and the defence and the contest, which you talked about before against the Bombers, which was magnificent in challenging conditions on Saturday night. You mentioned you go to Perth this week to take on Fremantle at Optus Stadium. It's a venue that I'm sure you have very fond memories of, in that 2021 grand final where you kicked 6. Do you use that? Do you visualise that leading into a game like this?
Yeah, obviously we love getting back there as a team. We've got some pretty unreal memories, but obviously it's a few years ago now, so we might draw a little bit on it. But I think we're in a really good spot to hopefully challenge a team that's obviously had a loss on the weekend, but it's been in some really good form. And we probably obviously played not that great against them last time, so we'll be looking to get one back.
And the travel routine, I mean, obviously the 2021 was different because it was the whole COVID experience, but the travel routine, is it down pat for you? Do you have a specific routine you get into before an away game?
Oh, it's been pretty much the same the whole time I've been at the club. We'll fly up on Saturday morning and have a little run around on Optus Stadium Saturday afternoon, and then it's all pretty done by then, and just get to dinner together and come together. As I said, that's probably one thing we've really come together as a group, and getting away together and learning more about each other and becoming tighter. And then when we're on the field, having more trust in each other is really important. And hopefully we can come back with the 4 points.
Were you a bit stiff not to win the Norm Smith that day, Bailey?
I think he had 40 and 2. Can't really go past that. So I was just wrapped to get that premiership around my neck. It's why we all play, and hopefully can do it again sometime soon.
Are you a pillow taker interstate?
Nah, no pillow for me. But just some boys do take them. But I'm just whatever's there, I'll use.
All right, fair enough. Keep it simple. It's a big game. It is one of the games of the weekend, I reckon. 3:20 local time here for Fremantle and Melbourne. 5th v 8th. Fremantle 2 points in front. They're a draw in front, so to speak, of the Demons in a very, very tight logjam through the middle of the ladder. We wish you the best of luck, Bailey. Well done on Saturday night against the Bombers. And from Demons fans' perspective, good luck on the weekend against the Dockers.
No worries. Thanks for that.
All the best. Bailey Fritsch, who is a very important part of that forward line, no doubt about that.
Want to see more from the D's? And don't forget to subscribe up here.